Hi there and welcome to my weekly robot update. This is where I do a roundup of what's going on in the robot news around the world, so stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm Philip English from RoboPhil.com and welcome to my weekly robot update number 6. DyRoS, the 3D printed humanoid robot. He's upright, he's functional, he even dances. This is a human robot designed, also known as DyRoS, produced through CNC machining after using the invaluable process of 3D design and 3D printing to form a visualization of the structure, as well as allow for testing. DyRoS is the culmination of ongoing projects by the Digital Human Research Centre, funded by the Advanced Institute of Convergence Technology. DyRoS was presented last week at the Humanoid 2014, an international conference of humanoid robots. DyRoS is not only a project in engineering, but an exercise in aesthetics, as it creates hope to see an integration of art and engineering melded together, even exemplifying this through making the robot part of the contemporary Korean dance performance. Aesthetics is one of the first topics the creators of the robot discuss in their paper Aesthetic Design and Development of Human-Legged Robots. Position in the way the robot or product obviously looks has everything to do with how the human perceives its worth and functionality. We apparently tend to judge a humanoid robot by his locomotion and how well we think he walks. Also of interest is that designers point out the aesthetics are more important than the robot appearing human. While he doesn't need to appear to look exactly human, we tend to be more receptive to a robot and accepting of his capabilities if he represents a general outline and size representing of a human body. DyRoS was created in South Korea and the robot's size proportions are approximate to that of the average South Korean female. Their legs do imitate human autonomy in a rudimentary way while still making exceptions for the placements of the motors. Robots and the Antarctic sea ice. Scientists have made their first ever detailed 3D images of polar sea ice using an underwater robot. The depth of Antarctic ice has previously been difficult to measure using satellites because it's often covered in a thick blanket of snow. But now the high-resolution maps of the Antarctic Sea will help scientists investigate dramatic changes in the polar region, and the results have already revealed that ice is thicker than first thought. The measurements were carried out by an autonomous underwater vehicle, an AUV, known as Seabed, which provides a new way of mapping sea ice from below. It was built and operated by the engineers from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Massachusetts, while the project also involved scientists from the UK, US and Australia. In some areas, the team found ice up to 56 feet, 17 metres thick, much thicker than the measured by previous techniques. But the exact thickness and difference in thickness is not known. The research was reported in the journal National Geoscience. The submarine is 6.5 feet, which is 2 metres long, and operates on a depth of 66 feet to 98 foot, 20 to 30 metres, bouncing sound waves off the undersurface of the ice. Satellites can measure large-scale ice thickness, but the data is often difficult to interpret because of the snow covering the ice. Man-made measurements carried out by drilling holes and observations from ships, meanwhile, are more accurate but are limited by lack of access. But the robot submarine can measure the thickness of the ice much more accurately. 3 locations around the Antarctic Peninsula were mapped: the Weddell, the Blingshafen and Wilkes Land sections covered an area of 4.5 million square feet. That's 500,000 square metres. Norrris, the robot that sings, does impressions and mimics you. As we know, robot technology is something we're seeing more and more, being it testing instructions on the International Spaceship, or rounding up sheepdogs, or even playing rock, paper, scissors. An interactive robot called Norrris has been on show at the Flux Innovation Lounge in London. Norrris is a robo-sapien. In his chest, he has built-in cameras for recording video, while tracking capabilities enable him to observe human movements before mimicking thanks to the pistons that enable him to move his arms and fingers. He can be programmed to say certain things, do imitations including impressive Gollum, interact with audience and even sing songs. Robots are currently being used to deliver virtual museum tours, but according to Andy Sarsoon, commercial director of the Flux Innovation Lounge, a RoboSapien like Norrris takes it to the next level. The robot can be pre-programmed to deliver or play a movie, a whole script, and then be able to articulate with gestures and characteristics. Robots can be used in businesses to engage with customers more by increasing the level of interaction. Interaction brings greater recall and retention rates and more chances of the commercial message being delivered. That's the key thing with this. We're trying to interact, we're trying to excite. Basically, the more fun you have, the more you remember, Sarsoon said. The algorithms and video technology within Norrris has a real-world use outside of the robot form, interestingly within car and insurance sector. Technology developed by 360 Global can be integrated into cars, and in the event of an incident, video showing the crash and damage to either car could be sent through to the insurer, quickly settling insurance claims. With a price tag well into the six figures, Norrris is almost out of people's price range, but Sarsoon believes in the future robots will be affordable. 3 years ago, Japanese robots were in their millions and they come down into a factor of 10. We hope the next iteration will come down by a factor of 10 after that to get into the range where people can afford them in a consumer environment. That's it guys for your weekly robot news. I'm your host Philip English. If you like this weekly report and want to see more of the latest robot news, reviews and robot tutorials, then please hit the subscribe button and come visit us at RoboPhil.com to keep up to date. I've put further information about the robots in this weekly report in the links below, as well as extra web links for your review. If you have a robot product that you would like me to do a review on or do a tutorial for, then please ping me over an email at RoboPhil.com and I'll see what I can do. Thanks guys, looking forward to see you next time.